So this is going to be a bit of a wire wrapping marathon, but first let's talk about changes to the back of the board. I think since you saw it last. And that is I isolated this entire bus up here, and then using this yellow lead brought -9 volts up onto that bus. And the front side here is still ground, but this entire bus here is now -9, and then I've used yellow wrap wire to hook up the -9 volts to the devices. And as we saw in the previous video, we were able to successfully read the card, or read the ROM. So reading now becomes the marathon wire wrapping session to get all the other pins here wrapped. Blue is the data. At this point, yes, blue is data. I've done a bit of experimentation here and come up with this length to be a good length for the wrap wire. Let me just validate one here. If I can actually get that to sit in there. And we'll just validate one more. This seems a little too long to me, but in experimenting it worked out pretty well. Take the next data bit here. It gets wrapped over to there. And these just get daisy chained. I know they make daisy chaining tools, and I believe you come back along and use a soldering pencil to melt the insulation away. I'm not a fan of that myself. So that looks like a good length. So really, the next piece becomes here, this is going to be interesting to do, is to get a bunch of lengths of wire at that length. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. Don't want to get too much bow on this. 26, 7, 28, 29. That should be about 30 pieces. Let's cut these to length, hopefully. Got all of them but one. These scissors are a little bit of overkill. Like I said, there's one piece there that didn't get cut. Now it's really going to become stripping these, which in itself is going to be a lot of work, especially when the scissors bowed the ends around. Why can't I get that to go in the slot? You can buy pre-stripped wire in various lengths. It's spendy. It's not something I'm going to indulge in at this point, as nice as it would make this work. So obviously I'm not going to bore you with several hours of this. I will, in a few minutes here, just speed the video up. Yeah, this is going to be a long session. There's 3. I want 6 pieces here to complete the data bus for the second socket. Then we got to come back and do 8 more leads for the address bus. Wow, that's stripped awfully long. Hopefully some of these aren't going to be short. I'm stripping too much off at times. I'll need to find a better way to cut those next time. It's that 5. This will make, here's one that didn't get cut. Next batch I will find a better way to cut the wire so I don't curl the ends over. So that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to see if the other glasses will work better for me. I don't think these are any better. This is one of the reasons I kept the or did some color coding here for signals. It makes it a little easier to see things. Blue is data, white up here is address. Wow, I'm having a real hard time seeing. Even harder time getting the wire into the tool. Yeah, focused on trying to load wire and just cannot see. These posts are only long enough to take 2 wraps, so it is going to be just a circular job here. I'm going to come around, up, and back across that direction, just because of the height of the pins dictates it. That wire's a little bit long. Wow. Really struggling to be able to see what I'm doing. Because of the extra length I stripped on that one, it ended up a little bit long. And of course, the next marathon session after this is all wire wrapped is going to be programming the 81702s. That's also going to be some effort. That didn't strip clean. And I can't get it. It's still not stripped clean. Since this is a modified wrap tool, some of the blue insulation in this case pushes up into the tool. Last data line here, if I can get it into the tool, which is turning out to be impossible with this one. And I wrapped it in the wrong pin. Can't believe I did that. Actually, I can't believe it. Of course, I wrapped it to the wrong pin. I don't know why these are, I guess it's that little hook on the end. With how I cut them, I'm going to have to, hell, that wire broke. I ended up with a little hook on the end from the scissors. It's making these really difficult to strip. I definitely won't do that again. That one ended up with plenty of length. So 3 extra pins left that are address lines. There is one done. There's only 6 more to go. So rather than bore you with that, I will capture it here and play it back high speed. See you on the other side.
Like that.
So with the data bus wired, remember it wraps around from this socket across, jumps up and comes across. I want to check for continuity all the way around and shorts, just to be sure. And of course when we flip the board over, it becomes these two sockets, and it's pin 11, getting little bits of stripped wire falling out, or stripped insulation around. So let's get into continuity mode here. The first thing I'm going to do is just check for shorts on all the data pins. There shouldn't be any. And there's not. Next thing I want to do is look for continuity. And that looks good. We have continuity of the wiring harness all the way around. There's no pin-to-pin shorts. Reason I did this at this step is once I bring the address wires into it, they're going to end up over the tops of the blue wires. And if I had a mistake in the blue wiring, a bad connection or something, I want to deal with it before I get yet another level of wires on here. And then the final wires will come off the 7442 here for the chip selects for each of the individual devices. That took about an hour, I think, total time to wrap that. This board is still a little bit warped. I don't intend to video the address line work. It'll be just a rinse and repeat with white wire, what we just did here. But anyhow, there is marathon session of getting all the data pins wrapped and tested.